Hello everyone. Today I want to tell you 13 short talk on news. The short talk number one. First, the speaker announced the Central Water Authority had advised on residents that day to use less water because there were very little water in the reservoir. And finally, he said that rains were not expected for weeks. The short talk number two. First, the speaker announced patrons at the city hospital had received holiday gift that day. And that he said that children from a local school distributed presents to many of patrons. And finally, he suggested keeping in the spirit of holiday season. The doctors and nurses had been given presents as well. The short talk number three. First, the speaker announced a computer magazine had reported that day that the California Computer Company had announced the entry of a new computer. Next, he commented that computer was smaller and faster than other computers currently on the market. And finally, he thought business travelers would find it very useful. The short talk number four. First, the speaker announced all banks and public offices had been closed that day because of the heavy snowfall. Next, he announced schools had been also closed and would remain closed until next week. And finally, he said most roads had been closed, so he suggested residents were advised to stay home. The short talk number five. First, the speaker announced Malaysia and Canada had signed a cultural exchange agreement that day, and that he said the cultural ministers of both countries attended concert after the signing. And after that, he said the countries would exchange artists, orchestras, and dance groups, but drummer groups were not included in the cultural agreement. And finally, he hoped that a new trade agreement would follow. The short talk number six. First, the speaker announced the president had left that week on a tourist tour of Asia. Next, he said the president would meet with the head of state of 5 different countries, and he commented that was the president's first foreign tour since he took office. And finally, he said his wife was accompanying him on the trip. The short talk number seven. First, the speaker announced traffic had been stopped for more than 4 hours the day before because of an accident. Next, he said a car had hit a bus on State Street at 5:30 p.m. And after that, he said 3 bus passengers had been taken to the hospital. And finally, he said police had closed two blocks of street until 9:45 and directed the traffic to the main street. The short talk number 8. First, the speaker announced thousands of people had gone downtown the day before to see the annual National Day parade. Next, he said the parade had been led by their newly elected mayor and her family. And after that, he said the public enjoyed an afternoon of free concert in the city park on the afternoon. And finally, he commented, "Nice weather and great music. Had a magic and a pleasant day for all." The short talk number 9. First, the speaker announced an increase in sales tax had been announced the day before, and next he said that the tax would go up from 5% to 7%. And some store owners fear that would cause people to buy fewer things. And finally, he said that the new tax would go into effect the month after. The short talk number 10. First, the speaker announced the new high-speed train service to the nation's capital had begun the day before. Next, he said that passengers said they had preferred taking the train because it was more convenient than the plane, and 3 trains a day left from the downtown train station for the capital. And finally, he said that the trip took 2 hours and 45 minutes by train, but only 1 hour by plane. The short talk number 11. First, the speaker announced the United Nations appealed to its membership that day for an additional $20 million to buy more tanks and spare parts to speed distribution of supply to the victims of West Africa famine. Next, she said that the food and medicines donated by concerned government were queuing up at the port. After that, he said that UN spokespeople said if the food couldn't be moved to approximately 10.8 million famine victims, distribution of grain would be cut in half within 3 months. The short talk number 12. First, the speaker said that Japan's high savings rate will drop on Japanese economy and on the rest of the world as well. Next, he said that for decades that high saving pattern provided inexperienced investment fund to business, which helped support Japan's high economic growth. However, there were a downside to high saving pattern that was the scarcity of consumer loans. After that, he said further, a high saving rate reduced the value of the yen on the international market. And finally, he said that expanded Japan's trade surplus, which in turn caused protectionist pressure in other countries. the short talk, number 13. First, the speaker said the Kenyan minister of trade had paid an announced visit to Uganda the week before for talk with its president. That said, the two discussed the improving trade relation between the two countries over the 6 months before, and finally he said commercial affairs had dominated the attention of the respective embassies there since the first trade pacts were signed the January before. Thank you for listening.